Hello, Professor Dr. David Cook, for my Week 7 Holiness outline. I'm going to be talking about holiness, but my subject is going to be holiness is synonymous with sanctification. So I'm going to show how those two go hand in hand with one another, and we can't have one without the other. So my first point is from Hebrews 10:10, and it says, "We are first set apart, we are sanctified by the Lord to be holy." So that is the first step. We ourselves have to be set apart, taken away from the world, and just to be apart with the Lord in order to be holy. In 1 Thessalonians 5:23, it shows us we have been sanctified completely. So that means spirit, body, and soul, not just our flesh, but all those three things, our spirit, body, and souls, has been sanctified completely by the Lord and set apart just for Him in order for us to be holy. B. In Galatians 2:20 it says, "We are crucified with Christ, no longer that I live, but that Christ lives in me." So I have been crucified, my flesh is dead, my spirit, my soul, my flesh has been sanctified, so it's no longer I that are living, because I cannot live holy. So it's the Lord Himself that is living in me, so I could be holy. C. In Hebrews 10:14 it says, "By one offering we are perfected forever, those who are sanctified." So we are sanctified forever, perfected by the one offering, which is the Lord Jesus Christ, that was able to do that. So that is the first step. We are sanctified. Now, in point number 2, it says, "Holiness is not just for us, but to show the world our sanctification in Him." And we see that in Hebrews 12:14. So we show the world the holiness, how we are holy through the sanctification of Jesus Christ. We see in Ephesians 4:32 it says, "Being tenderhearted and forgiving to one another shows holiness of Christ in us." So for us to not have a heart that is hardened but tender, it can only be done through Christ. And in order for us to forgive others, it can only come through the holiness. So first sanctification, now we have the holiness, which now we're able to be tender-hearted and forgive those that offend us. B. 1 Peter 1:15 says we have to be holy also in our conduct as He is holy. So our conduct is how we show everyone else how we are conducting ourselves. So the only way we can show Christ is if we are sanctified and we allow His holiness to come through us. In 1 Thessalonians 4:7 it says, "We are called for holiness, not called to uncleanness like the world." So we are called by Jesus Christ to be holy and not to be unclean. So in other words, we have to act different than the world. We cannot act the same way that they do. And my last point, point 3, is because of holiness, we can serve God acceptably with reverence. So Hebrews 12:28. So we see how now, because of been sanctified, now we're holy. Now we can hold a reverence towards the Lord. We are no longer fools, but only we have reverence of the Lord for His knowledge. Proverbs 1:7. Now we want His knowledge because now we have that reference towards Him. B. God is greatly to be feared and held in reverence by all those around him. The only way we can hold reverence towards God is by us allow him to for us to be sanctified and also to be holy. And see, we can now submit to one another in reverence to God. So because we have been set apart, now we live in holiness. Now I can be in reverence and submit to one another, to serve one another, because that's how we show our reverence to God. So that is my topic of holiness.